Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Political Podcast. I'm your host, Clark Wahlberger.
And I'm Jack Horvath.
And today we're going to have a glorious guest from the great land of...
America.
Yeah.
Also, who has spent time in...
China.
Hey.
Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning?
My fellow Americans.
Corporations are people, my friend.
Our country is in serious trouble.
I did not send classified material, and I did not receive any material that was marked or designated classified.
But man is not free unless government is limited.
Bringing you opinions on historic, current, and international politics. Welcome to the Unnamed Political Podcast.
Okay, so welcome to the 20th episode of the Unnamed Political Podcast. Big 2-0. High five.
Yeah, let's go.
Sweet.
Boys.
Alright, that's amazing. But recently, in other news that kind of matters to the world, the Paris climate talks wrapped up this week. They will entail plans for world nations to cut back on carbon emissions and could have and will have profound effects throughout the world if it's obeyed. Now, we currently are not aware exactly of what the talks pertain to, but what obviously the key thing is cutting back on carbon emissions. Now, one of the big focuses of this is the fact that many countries are facing serious pollution problems, such as India, Americans think America, and of course, China, or as Donald Trump calls it, China. We apologize to any people in China watching this.
We found that offensive.
Oh wait, you can't.
I
Great
was about to say
firewall.
that, yeah. Oh man.
Yep, good old censorship. We love you guys. It means we can pretty much say anything, and we'll only get offended, or the only people we'll offend are the PC fascists here in the U.S. And we did just call them fascists. So.
That's bold.
Oh yes.
We're gonna get a lot of
Come at me, bro. Please don't, actually. All right, but so, would you care to introduce yourself?
My name is Chairman Mao.
Alright, so for the purpose of this video, our guest has requested to be identified as Chairman Mao.
An alias.
Yes, this is of course not his name, which is completely and
Could be his name.
Yes, it could.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for all you know, he is Chairman Mao. Okay. Alright, so we're going to be asking a series of questions as Chairman Mao. It's fun to say that. Has spent time on the mainland of China under the communist-dominated rule.
Yeah.
So, Yusheng, when was the last time you were in China?
You used my name.
Flip. Chairman Mao, when was the last time you were in China?
2 summers ago.
2 summers ago. Alright. So that would place it in summer of 2013?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Alright. I apologize to all you weather experts, not weather. Time. People who can tell time better than us. Okay, so where in China were you?
South, near Hong Kong, Guangzhou.
Okay.
So, okay.
So obviously the places that the most pollution is associated with is in Beijing, but did you notice any pollution while you were there?
Oh boy, yeah. Everyone got cancer,
Yeah.
liver problems.
Yeah.
That's... Are you smiling?
Guangdong, Guangzhou. Wasn't like
places.
pollution everywhere. Yeah, it's what? It's a place.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
These are all
it's
places.
just a place.
Yeah,
It's,
they're
just,
all
it's not
places.
good. It sucks.
It sucks there. Like the weather's
Yeah.
horrible. You sweat is 60. You get a bunch of swamp ass.
Yeah.
So, swamp pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now, excuse me, I suppose seeing as we have a guest here, we were going to expand this, we just kind of used the climate talks as a way to start, but we'd like to expand this into a bigger conversation about China overall. So, what exactly, were you visiting relatives, I believe?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so, while you were in China, what did you say, what was kind of your first impression of what is it like to live there, not as kind of a, I'm assuming your relatives aren't party officials or extremely wealthy, what is it like to live as a normal person in China?
Let's say you're in some virtual reality,
Okay.
and next thing you know, you're in some Nazi concentration camp.
Yeah.
But you but you love being in that Nazi concentration
Is that
camp.
funny, Claire?
It's not funny.
It's not. I'm surprised that that's the analogy that you use. There's, Nazis and communists.
China's like a concentration camp.
It
no
is.
matter
Alright.
where you go,
Yeah.
people are going to abuse you. with
That
words.
I'm sorry for smiling. I shouldn't be. This is a serious issue. I don't think that.
I think a good question to ask is, what was your best experience while there?
Now, what is the good in surrounded
There's
by
got to be pros and
dirty
cons.
communist evil?
Oh, getting away watching porn.
That's a pro.
Thank you for those opinions, but now let's continue, I suppose. Now, so which relatives were you visiting?
Cousins,
Okay.
great grandmother, great grandpa, father.
Oh, so obviously in China. People really care about taking care of the elderly. Did you notice that in your extended family?
Yeah, Confucius.
Okay. So are they all Confucian? Do they follow Confucius?
No, everyone's atheist.
Yeah.
All right. Communism, dude.
The question is, can you really see the communism in China anymore?
Yeah. Do you feel it's a fact?
Oh boy, no. Like if you're in China, there is no middle class. You're poor, you're poor. If you're rich, you're rich. There's no in between. There's only the poor and the rich.
So you'd say even more income inequality
Big
than
divide.
communism than you would say before the communists.
You can't even say it's communist. No one's equal. You see hobos. You see guys in fancy suits. You see guys in Ferraris and more hobos.
Ferraris, eh?
That is very powerful words. Now, did you feel the effects of censorship in China, i.e. the Great Firewall and other things?
You do.
Dude, censorship is such bull crap. Like, they're doing better now ever since they legalized video games. Well, even though it has nothing to do with censorship, I guess video games is part of the censorship program since, some video games created by developers have references to things China does not want to show.
Now, speaking of things that China doesn't want to show, did you, was there anything that you, tried to ask your cousins about that they didn't know about due to the censorship? Did you try to, any conversations that just couldn't carry on because they didn't have that information?
Nope. All I talked about in China with my relatives was pandas and sex.
Now, in China, so how long did you say you were in China for?
2 months.
You were in for about 2 months. That's the entire summer. I remember. We missed you. It was very sad.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Now, in China, so you spoke about how things are a lot, certain things, rip-off products are a lot cheaper there. Would you care to elaborate upon that?
Oh boy, there's so much rip-off products in China. You see some guy selling fucking iPhones, but doesn't even look like an iPhone. You open that iPhone up, you see like a bunch of Android systems and stuff like that in that iPhone. It's not even an iPhone. It's like some kind of...
It's just a complete rip-off product?
Yeah, complete rip-off. There's rip-off Legos, you know?
Rip-off.
Rip-off Legos.
Oh,
Yeah.
we see those in the U.S., Mega Bloks and the like.
No, Mega Bloks is just, you can't really say it's a rip-off.
No.
But, yeah, I can see it. But, so you obviously have these rip-off, and China's known for that. Recently, have you seen some of their, there's a McDonald's. It's not technically McDonald's, because it has an extra arch on the golden arches.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of thing is just, it's surprising that they can get away with it. But obviously, in China, we see that when companies get, when Chinese companies basically rip off Western companies, we then kind of see, if a Western company tries to sue, the Chinese government is like, well, it's in our country and we aren't going to prosecute, because ultimately, in theory, all the money goes back to the party. But, so, did you purchase anything from some of these rip-off locales?
What?
Did you buy any rip-off products?
Oh, no.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, well, thank you for supporting good old American-made capitalism.
If you want to shift back to the politics, is there a strong approval for the new chairman of China? No,
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, Xi Jinping. Is there a strong approval for him? Are they allowed to convey that?
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't think so.
So damn strict there.
Yeah.
Do people support the regime overall?
There are some people that like the regime, some people don't. It's really black and white there.
Are people allowed? Oh, sorry.
What? No, you can go ahead.
Which one? In that regime where you said it's very black and white there, is it detrimental to a person's career or life if they don't approve of the government, or is it basically the only way to get ahead is to approve?
You have to approve. You can't do anything else. This is a country of censorship, and there's no freedom of speech.
So I think that's definitely very strong, because we're seeing a lot of people saying things like, oh, China's so great, but you don't really see what it's like for the average Chinese civilian living there.
Exacto.
And so when you were saying that there is very high income inequality, would you say that because of the communist regime, your extended family is on the bottom end of that? If you'd care to talk about that.
Basically, majority of Chinese people are poor. Like, if you compare wages from China to the US, one guy working as, computer technician in China, software developer, makes like $1,000 a month. In the US, you make like 10 times that, was like $10,000 a month.
That's definitely...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and when you you see that lifestyle, do you kind of see that Does the government try to do anything to improve people's lifestyle? Like you always hear about in communism, you have all of these state-run programs that help everybody. Or did you see those, or do they not really? Are they not as good as they are played up to be?
As better as they are, China's trying. Building cities that use solar power, so no more carbon emissions going to go on around the whole damn country.
That's fair.
And yeah, but also we have seen. Have you seen the Chinese cities that have been built that unfortunately have not been put to good use? Any use at all?
Yeah. No, I've definitely seen stuff like that around.
All right. So we might need to be wrapping this one up. So Yusheng, would you have any final comments on China? And if you could talk to the people in China, if it weren't for the Great Firewall, was there anything you'd like to say to them?
Well, don't go to China. It's a fucked up place. You don't want your kids having cancer or liver failure because of their medicine. Nothing makes sense there. Nothing makes sense.
It's very powerful words. Sorry for trying to interrupt you. But yeah, so...
Sorry for profanity.
Thank you.
Do you have
This
a
will
bleep
this
bar?
will be bleeped. I found a bleep. Don't worry, we're good in this regard. Thank you, Shang. We will...
We're good.
I'm sorry,
We're good.
yeah. So that was obviously, that is Yusheng's piece on
Motivational.
China. And again, thankfully, ideally, we aren't going to have anybody try to kill us. Unless Chinese hackers find out about this. Please don't kill us, Xi Jinping. You are so glorious and great. Like glorious Kim Jong-un.
We'd be happy to have Yusheng on in the future
Yes,
as a
thank you
guest
so much
host.
for coming on, Mr.
My
Shang.
man.
We just kind of fell apart and just started using his name. Okay, yeah, this is
Screw
Yusheng. Amazing guy. Member of the varsity football team, I believe.
Something like that.
Oh
Sure.
boy. That's
Yeah.
one reason.
Okay.
All right, you want to read off some followers?
Yeah,
Since
could
we're
you
here?
read off the guys who commented? Because we do have one particular person who asked for a shout-out. I believe that was
Antoine
Antoine.
_198.
I know that guy.
Shout out to you.
Swaggy dude.
Ryan.ends.
Ryan.ends.
Shout out to you.
You always give us motivating comments. And by that, I mean you insult Jack Small the entire
I
time.
think we've already said M. Somer 3, so we're going to skip him, even though I technically just gave him a shout out.
Yeah, you owe us, bro.
Exposing_Hillary.
Okay,
Shout
see,
out.
now we're getting people who we don't personally know. Go ahead and keep exposing, guy.
Official_G.O.P. Shout out to you,
Nice.
and one more.
Grand old party.
Um,
And one last guy. And then we, of course, have this special shout.
yes. Freelance ISM.
Hey,
Shout out to you.
thank you very much. All right, so we do want to just give one quick special shout out to J Riv.
J-Riff.
That is a friend of ours. I would say
Local here.
Yeah, very big time local hero. Host of his podcast.
Our YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
His vlogs, yeah.
Vlogging. J Riv doing things, and he recently had a question to answer. It's just I recommend you watch it. They're very entertaining. They're very fun. They are much better made than even this show. I was very impressed.
I was impressed too that he could pull it off.
He is not that like I didn't think he could, but I am impressed at the quality and time that he clearly put into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, watch it, look it up. I believe the first episode is Stuff Around the House #1. If not, I think we'll just put a link down below.
Oh, wow.
This is weird pointing because there's nothing there.
No time for facts.
About China?
Do you want to give a shout out to your channel first?
Before we-
Or your Instagram page? No? Okay. We didn't need to.
Yeah. All right, but so we might need to be wrapping this up. Is there any quick facts you'd like to share?
Oh, do you know no one in China knows about J-Riff vlogs?
Nobody.
Hey,
knows.
that's a good
true.
point.
I
Hey.
know.
And do you know Chinese police officers, most of them don't even have guns. They may have a dildo in your hand, but you could basically take that dildo and beat them in the
Alright.
unless you're
Thank
from.
God we have a bleep bar.
But don't mistake in China for Hong Kong, because in Hong Kong, you mess with the police, they actually shoot you up. Like, go to the airport, they got this big in their hand.
Alright.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
I won't mess with the police.
Don't mess with them. See? Yeah, go to Hong Kong, then you feel safe and protected.
There you go.
Alright.
Okay. Thank you for those statements. I don't know if we have enough bleep bars for this, but
No.
okay. All right.
Something wrong?
No, I'm scared.
You want to give the outro?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Clark Holberger.
And I'm Jack Horvath.
Thank you for making us to 20 episodes. We'll see you next time.
This is going to be an interesting episode.
Oh yeah. Goodbye. Oh, come on.